He came to the Emperor in a dream. The great god of the Kislevan people, or what remained of them, Ursun. Why he chose to appear now was unknown, but he told the Emperor that the key to victory against the forces of chaos that was scouring the gods' people was to cut off the heads of their leaders. By hunting them down one at a time, the forces of chaos would melt away and fight amongst themselves instead of being united. The map ahead was made clear. The first to fall would be the Wintertooth tribe. The tribe led by the troll King Throg. He only had a few settlements left under his control. And if he could fall, it would be the first stroke towards peace for Kislev and the Empire both. Hello and welcome back to Fireside Improv. This is chapter 38 of this Karl Franz saga. And while the Emperor was having his dream of Ursun, further south, near the city of Erengrad, the ecstatic legions marched forth to intercept Kant, who was trying to relieve the city of Erengrad, and now a great fight is on his hands. This is the greatest host of the demons remaining in Kislev. A victory here would change the course of this war against the Chaos Forces. Kislev could finally have its territory reclaimed, but this army completely lacks elite soldiers. It lacks a wizard, it lacks artillery. A victory is unfortunately unlikely. But if a victory can be achieved, it would be absolutely amazing. The Empire hopes to use the nearby cliffs to have a bit of a defensible position. They keep some of their lords in reserve to try to counter any flanking maneuvers, and cavalry is on the nearby hills overlooking the entire battle. And the cavalry is coming down off the hills to charge into the Chaos Hounds as the first strike in the battle. The Chaos Hounds should be able to fall. They aren't terribly effective against the armored knights of the Empire. But elsewhere in the front lines, the chariots of the Chaos Forces are slamming into the infantry, and they typically do pack a punch. So it will be challenging to hold this off until the cavalry can arrive to support. Good news is the flanking forces of the demons didn't quite fully flank, leaving the lords to be able to come back, although the crossbows have already been tied up.
Captain of the Empire! Sigma calls! Crossbows ready, General! Hit them all! Taking aim! Fire! Fight! Fight them! Fight for our right to live! Battle!
The demons do start to fade back to the realm of chaos while the mortal soldiers continue to fight on, but things are actually looking oddly good for the Empire. quite unexpected, to be honest. The elite cavalry of Chaos is getting tied up by a much larger force of the Empire's cavalry. So perhaps the numbers will be able to defeat the quality this time, so that they can then come around to flank and deliver the final blow to force the enemy to flee. Maybe. And just like that, victory is in fact achieved with the Chaos forces in full flight. It was a victory that was unexpected and also somewhat overwhelming. It's even the generals of the Empire are not quite sure what just happened. The city of Erengrad does have the attack launched against it. They're gonna do their best to hold the city for the reinforcements that cannot come, but whether they hold or not, those reinforcements can hopefully come back and defeat whatever still remains. The Empire's defenders of Erengrad defend the wall valiantly, waiting for the slow and cumbersome siege towers of the Norskins to approach the walls. The Norskins do split their forces, and the Empire tries to meet each of them, except for one section that they hope that if they can defeat all of the other parts, that then they can loop back towards the undefended section.
Kill the heretics!
In the undefended section, they do get free reign to simply jump right into the walls and into the settlement, while the defended portion does have a much more bigger fight on their hands. While Rams did make it to the gates, they lost quite a few soldiers along the way. Hopefully it was enough to whittle down their forces and prevent them from being able to do much if they do break into the city.
Are yours for the twin-tailed comet, for France! Sparta's the target! Shoot!
In the end, the city of Erengrad manages to hold two great victories in the vicinity in a row. Bodes well. Perhaps this is why Ursun came in a vision to the Emperor, as he sensed that the time was near to put an end to this war. Deep in the frozen lands of Norska, the Emperor looks to follow the advice of the great bear god of Ursun.
Let us begin. I command here.
The Emperor marches through the night to catch up
That will
with
work.
Balthazar Gelt and
I
lay
shall be
siege
victorious.
to the last great army of Throg. With the combined forces of the Emperor and Gelt, they are able to take him down with ease. With this as a key positioning, the Emperor does keep it as an outpost and finds great treasure buried within all of the treasure that Throg had accumulated over all of his raiding and terror that he has caused across Kislev.
As is my right by
And so
Sigmar's
deep
crown.
here within Norska, the path is clear to the last two settlements remaining of the Troll King, with no more army to speak of. And further south now,
Your word is my command.
the demonic
Sigmar is
hosts
with
are
us!
going to be wiped out here.
Sigmarite
So that
Archlector.
Erengrad can be reinforced
I live to serve
and
the
no
Emperor.
longer in
Awaiting
danger
orders.
of being overrun.
Yes, my lord.
Another army of Norskins marched from Kislev, but Volmir von Raukov is going to continue to push on
This
up
will bolster the nation.
to join the force in
Sigmar
Erengrad
forbids this.
and push up and collect all of this western part of Kislev in order to return it all at once to the Tsarina.
There is power within prayer. Sigmar heals us!
Gairan whispers, I shall pull them from the earth.
Over in the Doomkeep, the forces are nearly ready to move out once
Gairan
again
screams no.
to reinforce a little bit of their own army. Eldred is turning to the friends in Bretonia to ask for some soldiers, some cavalry to help their own army. Once these forces have assembled, this army will also be ready to march out to join the others in the glorious liberation of Kislev. The Emperor hasn't forgotten about his grand city of Oleg that he is trying to turn into the crown jewel of the Empire as a testament to the resilience that the men of the Empire have shown throughout all of their wars, defeats, and triumphs. It will stand for many years to come, and people from far and wide will flock to it. To bear witness to
Yes, my
the
lord.
strength.
This will bolster the nation.
Gustav's army is also ready to march up and join the war. They're going to come up towards the eastern part of Kislev and go at the same time and deal with that new Norskin army that marched from Kislev. The Emperor decides to continue to push on immediately despite his soldiers being wearied and marching directly into another mountain pass. Treacherous. And yet, from his vision of Ursun, he knows that the key is to continue to push and not let them rest.
I am
Balthasar
supreme
Gelt, on the other
patriarch.
hand, decides to wait just a touch before pushing on. He does have several soldiers that are recuperating from the most recent battles. He also calls upon more soldiers to reinforce his armies. So after just a little rest, he will push on forward so that Throg's Wintertooth tribe can be annihilated. Over in the Doomkeep,
What does the
Eldred
Emperor
is
bid?
ready to join the
By
battles
Sigma's right.
once again. He marches along
Pick
the
up the
treacherous wastelands. Some are
Let us
going to
forge
perish,
our
but they
faith.
knew what they were signing up for.
Healing!
Come forth.
Morale is high among the soldiers of the Empire. It's not like it was before when there was rebellion, distrust. The Empire is whole. Faith in the Emperor is unshakable, and people are willing to put down their lives for the greater good of the Empire.
Who calls?
Honored to serve.
I will marshal the men.
Kance and Valmir look to march ahead and challenge
Sigmar compels
the
us.
Demon Prince Azazel,
Praise
who
be to
has
Sigmar.
been a thorn in the side of the Empire for some time.
Faith shields us.
He is the next head of the Chaos forces that
Praise
will need
Sigmar.
to be dealt with,
Moving off.
as he as well has only a handful of settlements still within his power base, and hopefully that can soon be cut off as well and join Throg as but a memory. Somewhat lucky for the Empire, Chaos Force also came down to sack and raise Nagenhof, which was under the hands of the dwarves. It does open up the possibility for the Empire to simply waltz in and claim it now. One less settlement to have to fight over. The Emperor is ready to strike against the Altar of Spawns, raising it easily, which opens up the door to the final settlement of Wintertooth.
Yes,
Balthazar
that will do.
Gelt marches his soldiers as quickly as possible.
Bring me to my men.
They hope that he has enough soldiers on his
Denied.
own
You're a pretender.
to take care of that final strongholds so that the Emperor is free to start continuing to march towards Kraka Drak. In
Servant of the faith.
Kislev, a
You are
great
not
battle
as
is
depraved as I.
as Azazel has marched on to meet with another one of his hosts. They will not
True
be able
servant of
to
Sigmar.
retreat.
I go where I am needed.
To the provinces. Raise your weapons.
And battle will be joined. Volmir decides not to wait for any of the reinforcements. Instead, he wants to charge as quickly as possible and do what he can before Azazel can join the fight. And yet, Azazel joins super fast, and they are going to be outnumbered until they can get their own reinforcements onto the field. But hopefully they can still do a decent number before then.
Enemy wizard spotted.
The front is messy pretty much immediately. The Empire decides to reform as quickly as they can and create a bit of a kill zone with their missile troops. The Empire reinforcements do arrive. They try their best to run into the battle as quickly as possible before their compatriots can be overrun. Volmir von Raukov challenges Azazel in the middle of combat, and together. They have a duel to determine the fate of Kislev, as whoever loses here would have a sore morale effect, and Azazel is the one to fall. The overall fight stretches wide on the battlefield. No one quite knows the totality of what is happening. Each piece focusing on its own skirmish, hoping to do what they can for the whole. And once again, in the end, the Chaos Forces are defeated. The demons have been banished back to the realm of chaos, while the mortal men are either dead or fleeing. With the enormous host defeated, it opens up a pair of settlements to be reclaimed for Kislev, leaving the other great fortresses open as well. With one more great push, it looks like at least the western part of Kislev will be reclaimable, while another force comes up to take the eastern part. And up in the north, the first of the heads of the Chaos factions is going to be cut off, leaving what remains of the Chaos factions to start infighting and no longer be a threat per the instructions of the great bear god of Ursun.